What is up, guys? Welcome back to Rave Green TV, and today we're reaching our hand back in the membership mailbag as we're pulling out another one of your guys' questions. As Curtis Chad asked us a ton of questions, but the one that particularly stood out to me and Brody is asking, is Roldan's legacy better than Ozzy Alonso's?
Dude, that's such a hard question because when we say legacy, to me, so I guess I'll just put it like this, right? To me, peak for peak, prime for prime, I think Ozzy was the better player, and I can't say this about Roldan, right? Until really this year, for being honest, this year is probably the first year that Roldan's genuinely been the best player in his position in the league. Before that, it was always Mr. Consistent, gives you a 7.5 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 constantly, but was never regarded as one of the best players in his position until this year. Whereas Ozzy's prime, the best six. It was him and Chara, and that was kind of really it. Ozzy's level in his peak, which lasted for several years, was best six, the scariest six, one of the scariest matchups to come across in the league. I mean, when you combine his athletic ability, technical ability, aggression, his IQ, his passing range, his ability to shoot from anywhere on the pitch and score, I think Ozzy will always be the better player for me. But legacy-wise, I mean, Christian's won just about everything that you can win, right? He was a part of the CCL team, 2 MLS Cups, played in the Club World Cup, played outstanding in the Club World Cup. That's a huge, huge plus playing against that level of competition, right? I think that's just tough. I don't even know where to say. I think gun to my head right now, I think I would still go with Ozzy, but I don't think it's going to finish like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
I think I will say this is the perfect question. Roldan is getting his 300th appearance, only the second player to do that for the Sounders in the MLS era behind Ozzy Alonso. So it's crazy the timing of this question. And I will say, I do wonder with Ozzy how much of it is the nostalgia factor, I feel like you never know how good it is till you don't have it anymore. And I wonder how much we'll get that with Roldan. Because I just feel like Roldan really is the Sounders' next edition of Ozzy Alonso. When I remember Ozzy, he was just kind of that guy who, whenever the other team seemed to be on a counterattack, he would come out of nowhere, usually get a yellow card for some crazy tackle, but he would always put out fires everywhere on the field. And it just felt like he had the knack for being in the big moment. Those early Sounders teams, you just always visualize Ozzy having some sort of fingerprint all over the game. And Roldan's kind of switched to that too, the same way. Now it's just wherever it seems like the other team's going to have a counterattack, something bad, Roldan just comes out of nowhere and usually finds a way to body a guy, and I don't know how. And like that, he always shows up in the big moment. Roldan just finds a way to, whenever it matters, whether it be a big tackle, big play, big performance. I see so many parallels between these two players, but I will agree. I feel like part of it for Ozzy too is when you're comparing the players like for like, the fact that we're kind of don't really know if Roldan or Ozzy was a better player almost leans more towards Ozzy, because the 2009 MLS that Ozzy was playing in is nowhere near the quality of MLS here that Roldan's played in this last stretch of his years. 2025 MLS is so much better than 2009, and Ozzy Alonso is putting up performances that could have him still play in current day MLS.
Oh, for sure. I don't mean to cut you off real quick. Just we saw him keep this level from 2009 all the way to what? Even when he wasn't in Seattle. I mean, he had good years with Minnesota too. So that was 2018, 2019. So I have no doubts in my mind that peak Alonso could absolutely be the same level back then that he was now. I personally don't have any doubts about that.
I mean, I just remember listening, to MLS Extra Time, and they had the Ozzy Alonso Defensive Mid of the Year for how many years? Because he was just that. He was on a tier above everyone else. Chara, at the Sounders channel, we're not going to say it was anywhere near as good as him, but some people will say that he was close to him. But he was just so much better than that position and everyone else in the league. And the things that he could do, he could do anything across all the field. He found a way to score pivotal goals. He was the most physical player. He was not – he's called the Honey Badger for a reason. But I will say, everything I'm talking about for Ozzy Alonso, I see everything like that in Roldan. And I really do think that Roldan will have the bigger legacy. And another factor of it, too, is among the fan base, I feel like they do consider Cristian Roldan as one of the Seattle boys, just because he played for the UW. He played for here. He's played here for so long that I feel like the fan base just forgets the fact that he's actually a Cali kid. And I think that helps in
It's
the
like we
fact.
adopted him pretty much.
Yeah. And I think that definitely will help with his legacy factor. I feel like everyone's going to look back like, yeah, born and raised here in Seattle, even though he wasn't. Like, he's that much of a cult hero, which feels harsh to say. And I do want to sprinkle in the fact, too, that he plays center mid / outside mid, which is such a competitive position. Yet he found a way to make it onto the U.S. men's national team while only playing for the Sounders. And the way his style of play, like the way he plays, it's not like he can put up numbers like a striker can, go score a lot of goals in the MLS. Or, all the stats that he has don't really show up on the stat sheet. You have to be that consistent and that good at your position to get minutes on the national team. And he's made some squads that people really didn't think he should make. And I think that just all adds to the fact that he's definitely a Sounders legend. And right now, for me, he's not better or more of a legend than Ozzy. But if you were to tell me a couple years from now that he is taking Ozzy's spot on the Mount Rushmore, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, we talk about making national teams. I mean, the way he's playing, I'm not going to say it's a given or anything, but
he should make the team.
2026, dude, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's crazy to talk about, but it's a real thing. And people like USMNT fans, especially like Euro snobs, will be like, nah, And I am like a bit of a Euro snob when it comes to USMNT, a little bit, but not. I can say like a player performing at Roldan's level, and you've seen it for the Euro snobs out there. You saw it against European teams. You saw it against PSG at Letty, and not European team, but Botafogo, right? You saw him keep that level. Look. Not a beat out of place, right? And I just want to say, like, because this is a fun topic, I think I want to factor in like a little fun X factor thing, right? Just think about aura. Just think about player aura. They're in the same team in their prime, lining up next to each other in the pivot. Who is the guy? Who's wearing the armband? Who's putting the fear into the opposition?
I think armband. The armband has to be Ozzy. Like,
I think
when I close my eyes, it's long sleeve jersey, armband on, and it's 5 minutes into the game, just tackle.
It's a silly argument, but I feel like it's valid a bit. Just like as a player, I'm thinking as a player, looking at my opposition, seeing a number 6, like I'm more like, oh my God, this is Ozzy Alonso. Like one bad move and I'm in the hospital right now. Fuck, against Roldan, which Roldan, fantastic player, of course, right? But Ozzy just has like that. I feel like he's just got that unmatched aura, and I don't know how many Sounders have that kind of aura that he does. It's a silly argument, but
I will say though, to add to what you said to start that argument, let's say Roldan plays out of his skin this year. He plays out of his skin over the next stretch going into the World Cup, and he finds his way out of the 26-man roster for the second World Cup in a row. 2 World Cup. Okay, he didn't play. 2 World Cup appearances. Let's say, even if he doesn't play, it doesn't matter. Making 2 World Cup squads on the Seattle Sounders, playing your full career for the Seattle Sounders, I think that puts him a step above Ozzy. Like I said,
but this is Sounders legend, right?
But also, I think saying that you made 2 World Cup squads because of what you did with the Sounders.
That's true.
Also, I think this debate is one of the debates, like I said earlier, that the conversation we have now, the conversation we have the day Roldan retires, might be different than the conversation we have 3 years after Roldan. Because I think nostalgia is a big part of this conversation.
You gotta let it sink in, that he's actually gone, and then
for both of us in our age demographic, like when Ozzy was in his prime, we were both kids. Where it's like that was when we were truly getting into watching soccer, truly getting into MLS, truly getting into the Sounders, and we just see this beast. Like I grew up, he was like, I mean, he still is, but Mount Rushmore soccer players I idolized, and so I think that in my head, he's such a Sounders legend where it takes, I don't even know what type of player to knock him off. And I want to see how many years down the line it takes me to get a feeling like that about players in this current squad. All right, guys, but outside that, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. And guys, if you want to see your question featured in a video like this, join our membership. You can join the channel. You get a lot of special perks. Obviously, you'll get videos like this about whatever questions you want us to talk about. But in the live streams, your questions will get prioritized, always talked about, and you'll get some fun emojis to drop in the chat. But outside of that, guys, Thanks for sticking around for the whole video. We'll see you later.